country, you're not from Europe, or you have no ties in Europe, you're maybe from Africa or you're from Asia, you want to know the common ways to migrate to Ireland, this video is definitely for you, and you should stick around and get some information about how you can actually migrate to Ireland without being an EU citizen. There are two solid major ways that people migrate to Ireland, and under these two solid major ways we have like subsections. The first one is the long stay, and then we have the short stay. So the short stay can also be called the C visas, and then the long stay visas can also be called the D visas. So I'm going to be reading down from my phone here and what I have here. Okay, so the short stay C visa actually allows you to stay in the country for up to 90 days, and there are different categories under this. The first one here, we have like the Irish visitor or tourist visa. You could do that one. I'm going to be making a video on how you can actually come to Ireland as a visitor, the documents that you need, the amounts that you need, processing time, everything, that eligibility requirement, everything literally that you actually need to be able to come to Ireland, even if it's to visit for up to 90 days. I'm going to be making a video on that sometime next month, so you should definitely stay tuned and turn on your notification bells for that. We have the Irish visitor or tourist visa, we have the atypical working scheme visa, we have the exam visa. So if you have an exam here, maybe like a professional exam or international exam, and it's in Ireland, you can definitely apply for a visa and come here and write that exam. We have internship visa. We have a couple of people that kind of do this program in school, where they school in a particular country for a year and then come to Ireland to do their internship for 6 months or a year or even 8 months. There are visas like that. So internship visa is one of the visas that you can get. The short stay visa actually. We also have the jointship visa, we have the married visa, we have the training visa, and then we have the medical treatment visa. So if you're coming here under medical treatment, maybe you have a surgery to perform, or you have just medical treatment, medical checkup, you can actually do apply. Maybe say your GP is here, you can actually do apply for a short stay visa and can come to Ireland. Okay, so now moving to the long stay visa, which is the long stay D visa. There are a couple of categories under this particular route. We have the Irish business visas, we have the Irish work visas, we have the Irish study visas, we have the Irish residency, and then we have the Irish family visa. So all of these visas that I've just mentioned, you can actually apply for them and actually get it in the country for way more than 90 days. If there's any particular visa that you want me to expatiate and talk more about, then please leave it down in the comment section, and I'll try and do my research and make a video about it. Okay, so now aside from all of these visas that I have just mentioned, there are obviously two major ways that I have done my research and realized that most people actually come into Ireland through. The first one will actually be education, of course. Due to my research, good number of people that actually do come into the country, actually come here via the education route. So you either come here for your undergraduate, your master's degree, your PhD, your diploma, you can actually use that pathway. You can actually come through the school route, which is very popular and common means in which people actually migrate into Ireland. The second very common way in which people migrate into Ireland would be the employment route. So I've been making a couple of videos recently about how you can get jobs in Ireland, what kind of jobs, the companies that are going to be applying for you, the companies that will sponsor you, how to get these jobs. If you haven't seen all of these videos, I'm going to be leaving the links to them attached in this particular video in my description box, so you should definitely do check them out. You just might be lucky. Employment route, where foreigners get sponsored, they get employed, they get sponsored, and they are brought to Ireland, is also becoming a very common way I can see that people migrate into Ireland. You don't necessarily have to be in Ireland to actually get through with this employment route. You can be in Nigeria, you can be in South Africa, you can be in literally anywhere, you can be in China, and you can actually apply for a job, do the interview, get the job, get sponsored, and actually migrate to Ireland. So now, apart from these two common ways that I've just mentioned, we also have like some other very common ones, which is seeking asylum. So for example, let's say you're in a country where like it's a lot of chaos, there's no law governing the country is not stable, or maybe just your personal life, maybe you're running from people, maybe political reasons, family reasons, and all of that. You can actually come into Ireland seeking asylum if you have like very valid reasons, because they're going to be you're going to be checked, you're going to be cross-checked, and if those reasons are valid and you have a good cause to seek asylum, then yes, can obviously use that means to migrate to Ireland. And then the last option that we see, or the last way you can actually use to migrate to Ireland, would be seeking Irish residency permit. So the same thing as looking for a job, getting a job, coming here applying for you and all of that merry-go-round story. So yes, seeking for Irish residency is also another way you can actually use to migrate into Ireland. Maybe your spouse is here and your spouse is under the stamp on critical skills employment permit, or let's say maybe your spouse is here and you're married actually maybe by civil partnership, or you're married back home and your spouse is here. You can actually do, you know, what's the word now, apply for that and, you know, come and join your spouse here, and that's how you migrate to Ireland. So now I have spoken about like the different types of visas that we have here and the ways that you can actually migrate to Ireland, so that people know that it's not just all about, you know, school or work. There are also other categories or other means in which you can apply and migrate to Ireland. So now I'm going to be talking about the eligibility requirements. I always say this so that we know that for the videos that I have made and for the particular topic I'm talking about, it doesn't really apply to everybody. Of course, there are going to be criteria for you to be eligible for that particular pathway. So now, eligibility for migrating to Ireland, that's what I'm going to be talking about now. So now, this actually varies due to the immigration routes that we do have, but some of them actually have, like, you know, some common attributes that I'll be talking about. So the first one is the fact that you must come to Ireland for the purpose that you have actually stated. So for example, if you're applying for a student visa, best believe that when you come here, you're going to be going to a school and you're going to be working only 20 hours per week. You're not going to be, you know, indulging in any business. So for you to actually apply for a student visa, you must, you know, show your intention of going to a school. So you obviously need to provide an admission letter. You somewhat need to show that you have paid, you know, a very good amount of tuition fees. You have like accommodation, everything is sorted out for you. If you attach all of that into your visa application, then they know that quite alright, this girl or this man is actually going to Ireland for studies. The same thing with work. You actually have to state the purpose. If you're actually going there for work and you are maybe asked to write like submit your application, you definitely would impute your employment letter, because that shows that, you know, you're actually going there for work, and maybe like some company documents that is also needed for, you know, your employment permit to be approved. And then another eligibility to migrate to Ireland is the fact that you actually do have to show sufficient funds to support yourself, maybe your dependent family member. So let's say for example you have like a critical skills employment permit here and you're looking forward to bring your family to join you in Ireland. You actually do have to show proof that you have the funds to take care of yourself and also take care of your family members that are coming, right? And also if you're sponsoring yourself maybe as a student, you need to show the fact that you have the funds to take care of yourself via your whole academic year. Like they need to see that by providing your bank statement. So you just need to be able to show that you have evidence of sufficient funds, take care of yourself or take care of the people that you're actually bringing into the country. Another eligibility to migrate to Ireland is the fact that you do need to have a valid passport, a valid international passport that would not be expiring for at least, you know, 6 months, you know, before you're applying for that visa application. That's actually very, very important. And then the very last reason that I would always, you know, tell people is the fact that you always have to include your intention of returning back to your home country, especially if you're coming here under the student visa, right? And you're like, oh, your statement of purpose, you're saying, oh, I want to come to Ireland because Ireland is a great place, it offers great opportunities for people. I'm, you know, able to see myself skyrocket and do great during my academic year. You also have to state the fact that, you know, regardless of the fact that Ireland is such a great place and whatnot, I still have the intentions of coming back to my home country to better my home country, right? You also have to include that they need to see that, you know, you're not just coming to their country, or people are not just coming to their country, you know, as kind of like a dumping site. You also have the intentions of going back to, you know, better and make your own country a good place for people to also migrate to. So these are, like, you know, the eligibility requirements or eligibility points that I have that will make your migrating to Ireland quite, you know, seamless. I hope I was able to, you know, just put it out there and let you guys know that apart from school and apart from, you know, work, there are also other means in which you can actually migrate to Ireland. And these are the points and these are the visas that I have mentioned. If there's any particular one that you want me to talk about, please leave it out in the comment section and I will definitely speak on it. And yeah, so that's it. Please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell down there beside the subscribe button. My name is Ria and I love you guys. Mwah. See you guys in my next video. Bye. Ciao, ciao.